Hey, it's another little Wayne bite. Just a little taste of this and that, and I recently went to Palm Springs for a little R&R, and I literally ate my way through the entire city. I enjoyed so many different restaurants and bars, each with its own special personality and dishes. From bartenders making personalized cocktails, to classic old school, to innovative Latin dishes. I had a great time with my friend Kelly, listened to some great music, chatted with Lucy, enjoyed great views, spicy drinks, and saw Marilyn too. I started off with breakfast at Spencer's Restaurant with a mimosa and a loaded BLT. It's a place at the base of the mountain surrounded by the Palm Springs Tennis Club. I met an old friend who enjoyed a simple frittata. Nice way to start the day. Dinner was at Trio, which is a colorful restaurant on Palm Canyon Drive. I had the chicken piccata, love capers, and Kelly had the pork chops, loved it. And I got a little decadent with a brownie sundae. Hey, I'm on vacation. Mastros is a traditional steak restaurant in Palm Desert, just a short ride from Palm Springs. It's a classic steakhouse with a beautiful dining room, a little homemade bread, and a traditional shrimp cocktail, followed by a bone-in filet mignon. Cooked to perfection. Back to Palm Canyon Drive for lunch at the very fun Blue Coyote restaurant, where I had one of the best dishes of the trip. A little chips and salsa, a tangy margarita, and great guac too. Then I had this molcajete dish, and Kelly had traditional enchiladas. But this dish was awesome. The sauce and the meat, just great. See the result? Not a drop left. Then it was up to the rooftop for Four Saints. It was a lovely evening under the stars. I had the artichokes, my friend Kelly had the steak tartare. I followed that with a petite filet mignon, and that's the gnocchi. I also had some grits at a fancy restaurant. I can be so southern at times. Cocktails were great. Next up was lunch at the Parker Hotel. This place is very cool and colorful, and we sat outside and enjoyed a beautiful day. Our server brought us the fresh smoothie of the day, followed by a margarita with tahini on the rim, and that was followed by a lobster fish and chips and a classic crab louie. Really pleasant afternoon. We went back to Palm Canyon Drive to the Marlin Bar at Tommy Bahamas, which has people watching views on the main drag. When you go there, you have to have the classic coconut shrimp, which I enjoyed immensely, along with a coconut martini as well. Then we had a cubano as well as the avocado seafood bowl. Flavorful combinations. By the way, the sax was great. La Valerie is a classic French restaurant in an enclosed, tree-canopied backyard of an old mansion. It's a great space that's amazingly climate controlled. We had cocktails followed by half a dozen very tasty oysters. For starters, we had the roasted red pepper caprese with burrata and the ahi tuna. They were a great lead-in to the exceptionally prepared bone-in veal chop and the sweetbreads. Me, not a big sweetbread fan, but Kelly said they were delish. And then I had this awesome chocolate dessert. Johannes has been in the desert for ages. I had the roasted tomato caprese with burrata here, and that's the avocado tuna tartare. I also enjoyed a little infused butter, a rosemary martini, and that was followed by a veal chop, and that's the halibut. My sweet tooth had me trying this scrumptious apple tart as well. And then on to the classic Melvin's in the Ingleside Inn, an old school supper club and an old school hotel. We had to have a martini on the Frank Sinatra napkins, shaken, not stirred. And then into the dining room, a very classy space. We had the seafood tower, which was excellent. And then tableside, our wonderful server prepared steak Diane for two while we enjoyed really lovely wine. He was incredibly attentive and the meal was perfection. And then he fired up the pan again and finished us off with a show-stopping Bananas Foster's. I felt like such an adult. And then I had to come home on American Airlines. But I had an upgrade to first class, so this was my last meal from the desert. It really wasn't that bad. And the Haagen-Dazs was great, but still. So, did I have a great time dining out in the desert? Let's recap, shall we? Did I enjoy my trip? You bet I did. Should you check out some of these places next time you're in the desert? Yes, you should.